Hey there and welcome. Today, we're going to peek behind the curtain on the apps you use every single day. We're going to break down how a developer takes a simple idea and turns it into a real working Android app. All right, let's get into it. You're scrolling, you're tapping, maybe you're ordering food or tracking a workout, and everything just works. But have you ever paused and thought, what's actually happening under the hood here? What are the real building blocks? That's exactly what we're going to unpack right now. So let's follow the journey a developer takes, step by step, from a completely blank screen to a finished product. And that journey always starts with the absolute fundamentals, the language the app actually speaks. I mean, think about it. To build anything, you need a set of instructions. A builder needs a blueprint to build a house, right? Well, a developer needs a language to build an app. And for modern Android apps, that language is almost always Kotlin. You can think of Kotlin as the specific grammar and vocabulary a developer uses to talk to your phone. It's how they tell a button exactly what to do when you tap it, or how to lay out photos in a nice gallery. Seriously, every single thing you do in an app started its life as a line of Kotlin code. And what's so cool is how simple these basic instructions are. Just look at this example here. All that line of code is doing is saying, hey, create a little box in memory called message, and inside it, store the text you have 10 new messages. That's it. Every complex app you love is just built from thousands and thousands of these simple little instructions, all stacked together. Okay, so starting simple is great, but from there, Kotlin gets really powerful. It has features like this one, higher order functions. The best analogy I've heard is it's like a recipe with a blank space in it. You can use that same recipe for a chocolate cake, a vanilla cake, or a lemon cake, just by plugging in a different flavor instruction. This kind of flexibility is what lets developers build amazing, complex features so much faster. Okay, so if Kotlin is the language, where do developers actually, write it? Let's head over to the digital workshop where all the magic happens, a program called Android Studio. This is the command center. And this isn't just some simple text editor, it's a full-on integrated development environment, or IDE. It's got everything a developer could possibly need, a place to write all that Kotlin code, tools to visually design the screens, and even a way to run a fake phone right on their computer to test everything out. And check this out, this is one of its coolest features. Android Studio is full of these smart assistants. As a developer is typing, the editor will suggest what to type next, or show them exactly what information they need to provide. It's literally like having a helpful partner looking over your shoulder, catching typos, and reminding you of the next step, which makes the whole process way faster and with a lot fewer mistakes. All right, so we've got our language, we've got our workshop. Now for the really fun part, building what you, the user, actually get to see and touch, what we call the user interface, or just UI for short. So this is basically the developer's visual toolbox. Instead of having to code every single button or image box from nothing, they have this palette of ready-made parts. They can literally just grab a button or a text box or an image and just drag it right onto the app's screen. But, okay, here's the tricky part. How do you make sure that button looks good on every phone, from a small one to a huge tablet? Well, the really clever solution is something called constraints. I want you to imagine attaching these invisible springs from the button to the edges of the screen. These springs pull with equal tension, which keeps the button perfectly centered no matter what size phone you're using. It's an incredibly smart way to build designs that look great everywhere. All right, let's dive a little deeper, because an app is way more than just pretty buttons. It's got to be smart, right? It has to think, and it has to remember things. So let's look at the app's brain and its memory. When you boil it down, a smart app is really just doing two big things all the time. First, it's handling tasks, especially long ones like downloading a file. And second, it's remembering data, like your login info or your high score in a game. Get these two things right, and you've got the core of a great app. You know that annoying thing when you go to upload a photo and the whole app just freezes until it's done? Yeah, that's exactly what coroutines are designed to stop. They're a feature that lets an app do some heavy lifting, like that upload, on a separate background thread. It's the magic trick that lets you keep scrolling through your feed while that big video uploads and you never notice a thing. So what about remembering stuff? Well, for that, there's SQLite. It's this tiny but really powerful database that's built right into the app itself. The best way to think of it is as the app's personal, perfectly organized filing cabinet. When you save a preference, it goes into a file here. When you write a note, it gets its own little folder. It's how an app remembers who you are and what you've done, even after you've closed it. And the coolest part? Developers aren't just guessing that the data is being saved correctly. Tools like this database inspector let them literally open up that filing cabinet and peek inside to see exactly what the app has stored. They can check the data, fix problems. It's basically an X-ray for the app's memory. Okay, so we've got the language, the workshop, the visuals, and the brain. But that's just the foundation. With these tools, you can build, well, so much more. Let's take a quick look at how this all comes together to create the advanced features we expect from modern apps. Because once you have that foundation, the possibilities just explode. We're talking about all the stuff you use constantly. Playing audio and video, using complex gestures like pinch to zoom, replying to a message right from the notification, making secure in-app purchases, or even using your fingerprint to log in. Each one of these is another powerful tool ready for developers to use. And really, that brings us full circle. We went from one single line of text all the way to fingerprint security. It shows how app development is all about layering simple ideas to create something incredibly powerful. And it really makes you wonder, right? With toolkits like this getting more powerful every single year, what kind of apps are we going to see next? What are we going to be able to do then?